Hello and welcome back to my channel, a channel where we discuss all things important. So today we're going to be watching a video called a book about government secrets led me to Islam, and this is by First Pillar. So I haven't seen this video yet, so we'll be watching it together. So let's start.
I used to read a lot into martial law. I read the book Behold the Pale Horse. It's talked about a number of things like the Illuminati, the year 2000, Area 51. So I'm in the living room with the guys and asked them, what's your take on Illuminati and martial law? And they said it's all in the hands of Allah. And I said, Allah? That's when the conversation started. So one day I come over there with this VHS tape. I put the tape in and I played The Purpose of Life by Khalid Yasin.
Did all of this synchronization, balance, harmony, variation, design, maintenance, operation, and infinite numeration, and also do these things function perpetually and perfectly, also by chance?
After that, I knew Islam was the truth. Shortly after that is when I decided to become a Muslim, and then I told my mother. I can't remember how I told her, but me disclosing to her that I became a Muslim, I was basically kicked out of the house.
Why should other people learn about Islam?
Life is temporary. Everything will end. Then the next question is, what do I do about it?
It's the biggest deal of your life.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Welcome, brother.
Good to be here. Good to feel welcome. Alhamdulillah.
What's your name and where you from?
Name is Abdullah Habib Oduro. I'm originally from Ghana. My mother and father from Ghana, Kumasi to be exact. I'm the first born in my lineage in Texas. Born in Arlington, Texas, basically south of Dallas, roughly, and raised in Houston, so I'm Houstonian.
What attracted you to Islam?
The centrality of God, just how God is above everything, how everything revolves around the Creator. I don't want to say God because there could be a misconception.
Yeah, right.
God being some statue in the desert. The Creator of the heavens and the earth, that's what attracted me, and how everything in Islam revolves and is centralized. God is centralized in regards to our devotion and our utmost vulnerability and emotional connection to the Creator. That's what attracted me the most. When I found that Islam was that, and as a meaning, the linguistic meaning of Islam is that, that's when I said, okay, that's what attracted me to Islam.
Tell me the moment when you realized Islam was the truth.
Man, it had to have been two occasions. Yeah, one was when I was in the living room in the hood with the guys that I used to battle with, because we had some other type of dealings. But when I was there at a gathering for a particular situation, I used to read a lot into martial law, like the Illuminati, the year 2000. I remember back then it was like, okay, we used to listen to, I read a book, Behold the Pale Horse. It's talked about a number of things. Talked about Area 51, Illuminati, listening to Outkast, and they're talking about the year 2000, and poor righteous teachers, and just hearing a lot about that time when everything will end. I remember there was this one song by a group called Goody Mob, and it was called Cell Therapy, and it was a clip where it shows a guy putting his hand under the scanner at a regular convenience store, and it reads, he just puts his hand under it and he purchases with that way, basically saying that with martial law we will all have a number assigned to us, Social Security, but that number is assigned to us, and with that we're being followed everywhere that we go. Don't worry about it, right? Yeah. So that was kind of a part of the plan. So I'm in the living room with the guys that that I used to talk to and used to battle with, and asked them, what's your take on Illuminati and martial law? And they said it's all in the hands of Allah. And I said, Allah? That's when the conversation started. I said, Allah, you mean arm, leg, arm, head, Allah? And they're like, nah, man, no. Allah is the creator of the heavens and the earth.
Yeah.
We're not 5%ers. Even though we listen to music and a lot of them are 5%ers. But we represent worshiping the creator of the heavens and the earth, the creator of all colors, all forms. Everything other than him is creation.
Yeah.
Period. And that sat well with me, and that was what made me more attractive. And the more that I was listening, and the more that they were talking, the more that my heart was being softened and I was being convinced, right? but I didn't want to let them know that, right? That was the first time that I was introduced, and I'll put it like this, that I felt Islam had truth, right? The second time was when I was with my DJ, TC, and him and another friend of mine, Trevin. We used to go to TC's house, and we used to rap and stuff like that, and he used to make beats or whatever. So one day I come over there with this VHS tape, and the VHS tape, it was given to me by our brother Abu Bakr. Never forget Abu Bakr, may Allah reward him. Put the tape in, and I already watched it, and it was really, at that moment, this is after I'm being told about Islam from the guys from the East Coast, which I felt it had truth. But when I put the tape in and I played The Purpose of Life by Khalid Yasin, man, I'm just in a house full of, the house was very, put it like this, the house was full of smoke and nobody was cooking. Right? So we put the VHS tape in there, and there's just certain things that he's saying, man, that just, I couldn't, because he would ask a lot of rhetorical questions on there. Like the question, you knew the answer. And the answer was an answer that you had to answer with your fitra, your natural inclination of there being a creator. And every time a certain thought would come to me, he would answer it. Like, for example, at the very end, near the very end, he said, so if you were to become a Muslim, you don't have to consider yourself changing your religion. You're not changing your religion. If you gain weight and you had a suit and you really like that suit, you don't have to throw the suit away, do you? You just tell the sailor, change it up. Change. Your faith, your belief, your love of Jesus Christ, your attachment to God, you don't just throw it away. You hold on to that, but you make adjustments to where you know that the truth has been revealed to you. And he was like, that's all.
So yeah, that's a very interesting way to put it. So Jesus is very important in Islam, as it is in Christianity, but Muslims, they have a different view of who Jesus is, but nevertheless still believe in Jesus.
Has been revealed to you. And he was like, that's all. He spoke the language, he gave a practical example, and then him saying that's all made it seem like that's it. It's no big deal, but it's the biggest deal of your life. After that, I knew Islam was the truth. That's when I said, oh yeah, this is the truth. Any cultural disparity that I thought of Arab or anything like that, I know this is the truth now. Yeah.
What do most non-Muslims misunderstand about Islam?
That is a culturally oppressive fraternity. I think that's what they misunderstand, that Islam is tied to some culture, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, right? Islam is over there, but it's not over here. When we don't want it over here, right? So there's a cultural nuance to it. There's no cultural intelligence, and oppressive because they think within that culture, their religion is oppressive to, initially, women, to non-Muslims, to those that are not Muslim. Therefore, we don't want it over here in the West. I think that's a huge misunderstanding. That's why it's so, and to be totally honest, that's why when someone that is Caucasian becomes Muslim, a lot of people are confused. Right? And I've seen some that are Caucasian that become Muslim. They walk into these Muslim spaces, and there's some shaitan that comes to the picture and is like, yo, don't talk around him, he may be an agent.
Yeah.
Right? So there's that huge misunderstanding that you're talking about, what Caucasian are you talking about? I mean, America, the United States of America, is not originally Caucasian.
Yeah.
Those that are originally Caucasian were what? Muslim. Right? So I think it's just a level of just even beyond cultural intelligence. When I went to Medina, to stay in Medina, I realized as an American, I was very ignorant of the world. Very ignorant. I mean, having to meet, my neighbors were from Bosnia, Albania, Russia, all Muslim, generations of Muslims. You know, at the same time, when I go to Ghana and at a Quran school, you seeing the Syrians and the Palestinians, they are talking to me like this, and they Arab, and I'm like, yo, culture is beyond what you just think. In America, you're way on the other side of the globe, but you don't realize that, subhanAllah, being exposed.
Yeah, so Islam is not attached to any culture. Islam is a religion, and a culture is something completely different. These are two different things.
These cultures, and seeing that religion transcends all of that. Yeah, I think that's a beautiful thing, and I think people misunderstand that about Islam.
Why should people consider becoming a Muslim?
Why should people consider becoming a Muslim? Because I think once you admit that you don't have it all figured out, life, and that you need some structure in order to find a level of solace and peace and ease and integrity and strength and honor and discipline and love all simultaneously, then you need to look into Islam. You need to look into becoming a Muslim, because a Muslim is a practitioner of Islam. And the Muslim means he or she who submits to their Creator. Simple as that. So through submission, you find the peace. Through submission to Allah. But through submission to your ego, through submission to money, through submission to your wife, through submission to your husband, through submission to fame, you're not going to find peace, man. You're not going to find that trend.
Yeah, 100% have to agree with what he just had to said. Worldly things is not going to bring you any happiness at all. It's your submission to God.
Tranquility, that ease, that self-sufficiency. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, لَيْسَ الْغِنَى عَنْ كَثْرَةِ الْعَرْضِ إِنَّ الْغِنَى غِنَى النَّفْسِ إِنَّمَا الْغِنَى غِنَى النَّفْسِ or إِنَّ الْغِنَى. He said, verily that sufficiency is not found in having a lot of belongings. Rather, ghina, and self-sufficiency is found within the self. And ghina nafs, you're free from all of these tangible things. How many times people aspire for money, a career that brings money, and they want to find freedom, and once they get it, they feel that they'll get what they want because they want what everybody else wants. Right? But once you feel that I'm suffice with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's pleasure, or I'm suffice in seeking His pleasure by doing what He wants, that's priceless, man. That's priceless. So that's why I think some people to find some ease, some answers, some tranquility and direction.
Yeah, very nice video. I really enjoyed that. I've learned quite a few stuff from watching the video, and about his lifestyle as well, and how he became a Muslim. So yeah, very nice video. Anyways, I'll see you back on my next video. I hope to have something very similar. So I'll see you then. Thank you.